was setting. A soft golden light was spreading over the dusty huts of a small village. The air carried the scent of earth, and far away, the call for prayer echoed gently. In one corner of that village lived a poor laborer named Kareem. Kareem's house was made of mud and wood, a fragile hut where rain leaked from the roof and cold winds entered freely. He owned almost nothing: a small oil lamp, a few clay pots, and a body bent under the weight of life's struggles. He worked all day, sometimes in someone's field, sometimes on a construction site. That day, too, he had been lifting stones since morning. His bones ached, his hands were bruised, and his feet were blistered. Yet his face held more gratitude than pain. When he returned home at dusk, his wife Zuleka said softly, "There's only enough flour left to make one bread tonight. We'll see what happens tomorrow." Kareem smiled and replied, "One bread is enough, Zuleka. God has not let us sleep hungry today either." She lit the small clay stove and baked that one thin bread. Kareem spread his worn-out mat on the floor, and the two of them sat down to eat. Just as he lifted the first bite to his mouth, a dog's faint whimpering came from outside. The sound was weak, the kind that comes from an animal too tired and hungry to bark loudly. Kareem looked toward the door. A skinny dog stood outside, covered in dust, with eyes that spoke of hunger and helplessness. Zuleka frowned. "Drive it away, Kareem. If you feed it once, it'll come every day." Kareem put the bite down, thought for a moment, and said gently, "He's God's creation too, Zuleka. He looks starving." She sighed. "But we have only one bread." Kareem quietly picked up that last bread, opened the door, and placed it in front of the hungry dog. The dog sniffed it, ate it in one gulp, and then sat still, as if saying thank you with his eyes. Kareem sat by the door and murmured, "Perhaps God is testing us today." That night, both of them slept hungry, their stomachs empty, but their hearts full of peace. The next morning, when Kareem woke up, the sky was heavy with dark clouds. He went out in search of work, praying under his breath. If he didn't find work today, there would be nothing to eat again. At the edge of the village, he saw a crowd around a large truck. It belonged to a rich merchant from the city who was beginning construction on a new building. The merchant's manager shouted, "We need an honest laborer, someone who can start today." Kareem stepped forward, greeted them respectfully, and said, "Sir, I can work." The manager looked him up and down. Old clothes, tired eyes, but an honest face. He said, "Fine, but payment will be made only when the work is finished." Kareem nodded silently. He worked from sunrise till sunset, sweating under the blazing sky, his hands bleeding, yet gratitude never left his lips. In the evening, while returning home, Kareem saw the same dog sitting by the roadside. It wagged its tail as soon as it saw him, like recognizing an old friend. Kareem smiled and said softly, "I have nothing to give you today, my friend, but I can still pray for you." The dog followed him all the way home. When Zuleka opened the door, she was surprised. "That dog again?" Kareem laughed. "Yes, maybe he's our friend now." That night, too, they had no dinner. Yet somehow, the air inside their little home felt calm, peaceful. The next day, when Kareem went to work, the merchant himself was there. He observed Kareem quietly for a while, then said, "Last night our truck broke down near your village. A stray dog stayed by our side the whole night, as if guarding us." Kareem smiled. "Dogs are loyal creatures, sir." The merchant added, puzzled, "Yes, but there's something strange. That dog had a piece of cloth tied around its neck, with your name written on it, Kareem." Kareem froze for a moment. Could it be the same dog he had fed with his last bread? The merchant continued, "It felt like a sign, so I've decided to offer you permanent work here, as the caretaker of this site. You'll have your own quarters and a regular salary." Kareem's eyes filled with tears. He whispered, "God never wastes anyone's kindness, sir." Weeks passed. The new building was completed. The merchant kept his promise and gave Kareem a small house near the site. That night, for the first time, Kareem and Zuleka lit a lamp in their own home, a light born from honesty and compassion. And the same dog, now healthy and strong, guarded their door every night. Kareem would always share his food with them, saying, "Half for me, half for my friend." Sometimes Zuleka would tease him, "What if you hadn't given that bread that day?" Kareem would smile and reply, "If I hadn't, maybe we wouldn't have this home today. Kindness is never small, Zuleka. Only the heart needs to be big." Time went on. Kareem became known throughout the region as the honest worker. People came to seek his advice, and he always said the same thing. Even if you lose everything in life, never lose your goodness. God's justice may take time, but it never fails. One afternoon, while sitting in the mosque courtyard, a little boy approached him. "Uncle Kareem," he said shyly, "there's nothing to eat in my house today." Kareem looked to his pocket. There was just one piece of bread. He smiled, placed it in the boy's hands, and said, "Maybe God is testing me again today." Moral: those who create ease for others, God opens new doors for them. No act of kindness is ever wasted. Feeding the hungry fills not only the stomach but also the soul.